Imagine living in a world without tools. Farming would be grueling work, hunting would rely on luck instead of skill, and building even the simplest shelter would take weeks. This was once the reality for our ancestors, but the story of human progress began with one essential breakthrough: the invention of tools. The hammer, the chisel, and the skilled hands of a toolmaker unlocked a new era for humanity, propelling us from mere survival into a world of innovation and growth. But how did these tools shape our societies, and what lessons can we learn from their development? At the heart of human advancement is the tool. Tools aren't just objects, they are force multipliers that transformed the way we live. Take agriculture, for example. With the development of plows and sickles, farming became more efficient, allowing people to produce more food with less labor. This was a game changer for early civilizations. In construction, hammers, chisels, and saws enabled builders to create shelters, bridges, and fortifications, supporting the growth of communities and cities. Tools also played a pivotal role in defense and hunting, with spears, arrows, and swords making survival more reliable and warfare more effective. Without these innovations, human societies would have remained stuck in a cycle of subsistence, unable to grow or innovate. Toolmakers, however, weren't just craftsmen. They were pioneers, shaping the very foundation of society. By experimenting with materials like stone, bronze, and iron, they created stronger, more durable tools that pushed the boundaries of human capability. Their skills took years to develop, turning toolmaking into one of the earliest specialized trades. But the impact of toolmakers didn't stop at the tools themselves. Their creations influenced art, architecture, and even the development of written language. Chisels carved symbols into stone, creating the written word, while tools shaped art and culture in ways that continue to resonate today. The toolmaker's craft became the first link in a chain of progress that connected all other trades. Becoming a toolmaker wasn't easy. It required years of training, often through apprenticeships, where young people learned not just the techniques but the philosophies of the craft. Apprenticeships were hands-on and demanding, starting with simple tasks like shaping stones or sharpening blades and advancing to more complex projects. In these workshops, apprentices didn't just learn to make tools. They learned to solve problems, adapting tools for specific needs, from farming to combat. The knowledge transfer was not just practical, it was cultural. Each generation of toolmakers improved upon the last, ensuring that the craft evolved alongside the needs of society. The apprenticeship model became a blueprint for the transmission of knowledge, laying the groundwork for other specialized trades like blacksmithing and architecture. Toolmaking didn't exist in isolation. It fueled and depended on other trades, creating a web of interdependence. Farmers needed plows and scythes to cultivate the land, while builders relied on hammers, saws, and chisels to construct their homes. In turn, toolmakers depended on the raw materials provided by miners and farmers. The mining of metals like copper and iron was essential for creating the tools themselves, and the demand for better tools to support hunting and warfare led to continuous innovation. This interdependence amplified productivity across every sector, turning small communities into thriving civilizations. Toolmakers didn't just make tools, they created the foundation for everything that came after. The impact of toolmaking didn't stop with tools. It set off a cascade of advancements that reshaped human history. As farmers became more efficient, agricultural surpluses followed, which allowed for the growth of larger populations. With more people, urbanization began, and the construction of permanent settlements led to the rise of cities and centralized governance. Technological innovation followed, inspired by the creation of tools and crafts. From pottery to metalworking, the culture of innovation spread like wildfire, transforming human society in ways that are still evident today. But despite its importance, toolmaking also acted as a bottleneck. Without skilled toolmakers, societies struggled to advance. Poorly made or unavailable tools restricted farming, building, and defense, limiting productivity. Societies that couldn't support their toolmakers were vulnerable to collapse, as their ability to sustain growth depended on reliable tools. In many ways, the success of a society rested on the shoulders of its toolmakers, who ensured that their creations were durable, precise, and adaptable to the changing needs of society. The legacy of toolmaking has continued into the modern age. Just as ancient toolmakers were pioneers, today's engineers, programmers, and scientists create the tools that shape our world. The principles of specialization, training, and knowledge transfer that guided early toolmaking are still in use today, as we pass down skills and innovations from one generation to the next. Our modern economies, like ancient societies, depend on the collaboration of specialists across fields, and just as toolmakers once relied on farmers, miners, and builders, today's innovators depend on a wide array of specialists to create the systems and technologies that power our world. Looking back at toolmaking's role in history offers important lessons for modern societies. It reminds us of the power of specialization and how focused effort in one area can lead to massive advancements across other fields. It shows us the importance of training and knowledge transfer in ensuring that skills and innovations are passed down. And it teaches us that interdependence is key, not just within a society but across different fields of work. Toolmaking wasn't just about creating tools, it was about creating the foundation for progress, and that's a lesson that still holds true today. In the end, toolmaking was more than just a trade. It was the spark that ignited human advancement. By transforming raw materials into tools, early craftsmen didn't just make life easier, they made growth and innovation possible. Whether it was plows or swords, the tools they created laid the foundation for everything that came after. From the simplest crafts to the most complex technologies, tools have shaped the trajectory of civilizations, proving that even the smallest innovations can have extraordinary impacts. Behind every great leap forward is a toolmaker who turned potential into reality, carving the path from survival to success. So the next time you use a tool, whether it's a hammer, a smartphone, or a computer, take a moment to appreciate the history behind it. Tools have always been the drivers of progress, and it's through the hands of skilled makers that humanity has moved forward. Just as the tool makers of the past shaped the world we live in, the innovators of today continue to carve out the future.